Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, 2010 horror comedy, a riff on the slasher genre. The opening scene features a bunch of college kids driving to a remote cabin in the woods for a getaway, and the moment they were introduced, I audibly groaned because I went into the film completely dark and thought, okay, this is just going to be another regular idiotic slasher. The kids exchange a couple of lines of extremely cliched dialogue, then stop at a gas station to resupply, at which point they encounter two creepy hillbillies that still are Tucker and Dale. However, we then switch to the perspective of those two and find out that they only look creepy because of a misunderstanding, because of how the college kids, perceive them to be, and how awkward the two of them are. Then they head out to their own cabin, very close to where the college kids reside. And then the comedy of misunderstandings proceeds to unfold as we switch back and forth between the perspective of the teenagers, who think they're facing two sadistic, maniacal murderers, and the hillbillies, who think that crazy teens are committing suicides all around them for some unknown reason. And I have to say, as simple and silly as it sounds, and as simple and silly as it actually is, it does work. I'm surprised nobody else has approached the genre from this point of view before, to parody it this way. But once you see it in the film, it seems like the most obvious thing to do with it. By playing with the cliches and the established rules of the genre, the movie got a lot of laughs from me. And sure, a lot of the comedy is slapstick, and it all kind of boils down to watching stupid people encountering another group of stupid people. But I say it again, I did have fun watching it. I thought the jokes landed, the film managed to stay inventive and fresh throughout the entire runtime, even though it may have seemed initially like the jokes would become stale after a half hour or so. They haven't. And it also has a surprising amount of heart. Apart from the horror murder stuff, there's a subplot here about Dale learning that how he looks on the outside doesn't define him, and that he can be a great person if he believes in himself, which is a lovely message in itself and doesn't feel heavy-handed here. I also want to highlight Alan Tudyk as Tucker, who steals most of the funny scenes he's in. He's just absolutely perfect as this moron redneck. The accent, the facial expressions, the movements, by far my favorite character. So, yeah, a magnificent work of art, this film isn't. It is what it is, a silly parody of a silly genre, but as that, it is genuinely good.